which has this awesome and unprecedented power, which is oppressing mankind. Modern Western civilization, which is also decadent to its very core, also is a civilization with amazing powers of deception. Appearance and reality are always different from each other in all that pertains to this civilization. It is a civilization with a mission in the world. We used to hear it in the days of colonialism. This is called in international relations, it's called jingoism. That we have a mission to civilize mankind. And this mission took them not only to colonize the rest of the world, that's bad enough, but that didn't end the story. When they colonize a part of the world, they do not leave, they do not decolonize until and unless they have put in place institutions which will ensure that that society will continue to be ruled by them by proxy. And in the process, they seek to transform the rest of mankind into carbon copies of themselves. This never happened before in history. If I do not seek to understand what's happening here, then I've got peanuts in my head. When will I wake up? When will I begin to think? When will the world have more to me than McDonald's hamburgers? What's happening here? They seek to transform the whole world into carbon copies of themselves. When they shave off the beard, then the civilized thing to do for the rest of mankind is to shave off the beard. And if you do not shave off the beard, you pay a price for that. You cannot be in the security industry. You can't be a police officer. You can't be in the military. Tomorrow you won't be able to work in a bank if you have a beard. You can't be prime minister if you have a beard. And then when their women take off their head covering, then they expect all the rest of the world to follow suit. And when your women stick to the head covering, then they say, well, you know, this is a cultural matter. They're not doing this because of religion. It's just Malay culture. Their obsession is to transform the rest of the world into carbon copies of themselves. And in order to further this process of transformation of mankind into carbon copies of themselves, they bring to the world something called globalization. That the whole world becomes connected. When you were a boy, you had to send a telegram to London, and the telegram would reach 2-3 days later. You had to go to the telegraph office to send a telegram. And now today your son picks up the phone, he calls daddy direct dialing. And not from the home phone anymore. He picks out a phone out of his pocket. Cell phone. The whole world becomes interconnected. And as the world becomes interconnected, television is used as the master instrument for brainwashing the rest of mankind and causing mankind to become copycats of the West. The Prophet said, Allah's blessings be upon him, he said, if you forget everything I said tonight, please don't forget this. These words of the Blessed Prophet, Allah's blessings be upon him. He said, Man tashabbaha biqawmin fahuwa minhum. Whosoever imitates another people belong to that people. You have abandoned me. Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam. لَقَدْ كَانَ لَكُمْ فِي رَسُولِ اللَّهِ أُسْوَةٌ حَسَنَةٌ. This man who used to sit on the floor and eat with his hands. This man is the best, the perfect example for mankind. If you do not follow me, but you follow them, and you imitate them, you belong to them, you don't belong to me. And so modern Western civilization has this obsession of transforming the whole world into carbon copies of itself.